Hey, vinyl community, Doodah Dave here. Yeah, grabbing my Coltrane. C is for Coltrane. First off, let me wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Okay, it is Father's Day 2023 today. This is C. Let's guide it right into it. The best of John Coltrane on Atlantic. This is an all-star collection. I love this record. Here's the sleeve, a little beat up, but nonetheless, Stanley Clarke on there, Herbie Mann, all kinds of cool people. So here's the label, the old Atlantic label. This came out in 1970 and featured the Atlantic Sessions, Neshui Ertegun, Ahmet Ertegun's brother, producing. Tom Dowd, the engineer, the famous Tom Dowd from the Allman Brothers, Live at the Fillmore East, Layla, a lot of other things Tom Dowd has worked on as well. I'd say probably Tom Dowd is maybe my second favorite producer, my favorite rock producer, Rudy Van Gelder being my favorite jazz producer. So let's run down the tunes. My favorite things from the title album of the same title, rather, released on October 21st, 1960. Naima, written for his wife, 1959, and Giant Steps. So you have two title cuts from albums. You have Equinox and Central Park West. So it goes Equinox, Cousin Mary, and Central Park West. Equinox and Central Park West was for the John Coltrane sound, and Cousin Mary was from another Atlantic Coltrane album. People talk about Coltrane. Blue Train, of course, Kind of Blue. Those are two really popular ones. That was his Blue Note debut, Blue Train. It's fantastic. Lee Morgan and Curtis Fuller on trombone. But this collection, right after he left Miles, he started with Miles in 55 and left in 60. March of 1960, Miles bought Coltrane a soprano saxophone. He'd never played soprano saxophone before. And my favorite things, the Richard Rodgers, Oscar Hammerstein song from Sound of Music, which had just come out, was recorded on October 21st, 1960. Yes, I'm reading this. McCoy Tyner on piano, Steve Davis on bass, and Elvin Jones on drums. Steve Davis later to be replaced by the great Paul Chambers. He's on three more of the cuts, and then Steve's back on for Equinox, Central Park West, and Giant Steps was Paul Chambers. Steve Davis is on Equinox and Central Park West, and Paul Chambers on Cousin Mary. So, and then Coltrane, he had his own. He was with after being with Miles Band in 55, he did a stint for 6 months with Thelonious Monk, and then his own quartet starting in 1960, and by 1967 he was gone. An amazing arc, career. Almost anything with John Coltrane on it is fantastic. This is on Atlantic, as I say, released in 1970. Nat Hentoff from the Village Voice jazz critic does the liner notes. You can see it's a little beat up. Yes, it has ring wear. No, I'm not going to sell it. It was out of print on CD for a long time. I think they have it now on CD, but it's really, really special. I mean, the first side is just slamming, and the songs on the second side are equally great, and they're all really from the two dates in 59 and 60, October, December 59, May 59, October 60, May 59, October 60. Just fantastic. I want to show you Coltrane. C is for Coltrane. We'll do D next, and you probably know Coltrane's old boss is going to be our D. Coltrane is one of those artists like Satchmo, like Miles, like Duane Allman, like Jimi Hendrix, like, I guess I say Freddie Mercury, McCartney, James Taylor, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Bonnie Raitt, that just Linda Ronstadt, that just took the genre, and whatever he attempted to do, he put his stamp on it, and maybe he put the whole post office on it. I mean, his style, his elegance, his swing, his spirituality, his drive, his to me, it feels like sometimes in the more driving, angry parts of Train, it's like he reaches in my heart and wants to pull it out. But at other times in the ballads, like Naima, it's like he lights it up. He just connects straight to the heart, Just a heart-centered, fantastic guy. Born in North Carolina, which was my mom's home state. She wasn't born there. She was born in New York City, but she had her kin from North Carolina, and born in the same year as my mother, interestingly enough, 1926. I wanted to show a couple more albums. So that's my favorite things. Naima, Giant Steps. I told all the sidemen. Tommy Flanagan on piano, Wynton Kelly on piano, and a couple of them, and Tyner on the three cuts. My favorite things, Equinox and Central Park West. 3 on each side. Train wrote everything except for my favorite things, so they're all originals, which is great. Giant Steps, Naima, and my favorite things. Those are the standouts. I wanted to show a few other Coltrane albums that I have. This is an album with Duke Ellington. The first two sides, it's a double album, is Ellington with Coleman Hawkins, and C and D are with Ellington, from the Ellington and Coltrane album, recorded, by Rudy Van Gelder over in Englewood Cliffs in '62. So after this, really, really beautiful song, Stevie, My Little Brown Book, A Feeling of Jazz in a Sentimental Mood, Angelica, Take the Coltrane, and Big Nick. So there's a Strayhorn, Ellington, which was Ellington's writing partner, and Ellington did all the other tunes except for Big Nick. That's really great. With Miles, I have Milestones, which is incredible. Cannonball Adderley, John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones. And I have Someday My Prince Will Come. This is one of my favorite records of all time, of anywhere. I love the logo. It's got a picture of his wife, Fran, on the cover. John Coltrane, Hank Mobley, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Jimmy Cobb. Just an amazing, amazing record on Columbia, his label. And I've got some Coltrane CDs. I have The Gentle Side of John Coltrane, which is fantastic. The standout here is Lush Life. I have Blue Train, I mentioned before, which was on the Blue Note label. I have the Ballads album, which was on Impulse. John Coltrane Quartet with McCoy, Jimmy Garrison, Elvin Jones, my favorite lineup. And Giant Steps on with some extra tracks on Atlantic, which we mentioned. Giant Steps, the title cut, was on the best of, and his pièce de résistance, people consider his masterpiece, and I would have to say that too, Love Supreme, which had the McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Elvin Jones lineup on it. I like Paul. I like Paul Chambers a lot too, but Garrison's incredible. These were produced by Bob Thiel. Funny note about Bob Thiel, I'm going kind of long on this one. Bob Thiel's son played in a band, and they played Allman Brothers. So there's a connection. And by the way, two of my favorite guitarists that everybody knows, Jerry Garcia. You can see my hat with RFK. The 50th anniversary of that concert was just June 10th. And then in July, we'll have the 50th anniversary of Watkins Glen. And Duane Allman were both big fans of Coltrane. In fact, Bob Weir mentioned that he felt like his job as a rhythm guitarist in the Grateful Dead was to be McCoy Tyner to Jerry's Coltrane, which is interesting. So that's John Coltrane. We'll go to D. We're moving quickly through the alphabet for jazz. We'll try to get them at least once a week. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and everybody. And keep on spinning, Vinyl Community. Thanks for your time. If you have any comments, please list them below. And please subscribe. Help the channel, Dave's Records. And if there's anything that you want to see me review, please leave that as well, okay? And we're going a little long. I didn't mention anything about Train's descent into depression and his heroin addiction. But suffice it to say that he, like many other musicians, came out the other side and was able to transcend it. And Love Supreme, if you put that on it, it's very much a recovery album. And he did succumb to cancer, and I believe was drug and alcohol free when he died, as far as I know. I've read a couple biographies of his, but not in a while. Great musician. Have fun spinning. Happy Father's Day, and I'll talk to you soon. Dave signing out.